The house always seemed normal, you know? Just a regular place on a regular street, nestled amongst the other houses, a picture of suburban tranquility. But looking back, through the haze of memory and the lens of experience, there were whispers, shadows in the corners of my memory. It started small, a feeling, a subtle shift in the atmosphere. A chill that had nothing to do with the weather. It was a premonition, a sense of something lurking, just beyond the veil of the ordinary. Then, the things began to change, subtly at first. Then with a growing intensity. The air got heavy, thick with an unspoken tension, almost palpable. The laughter faded, replaced by an unsettling silence that pressed down on us. A silence that amplified every creak and groan of the old house. My home, once a sanctuary, a place of comfort and safety, was slowly, insidiously becoming something else. Something dark, something evil. The fear was always there, a constant companion, an unwelcome guest that never left. It lived in the creaks of the floorboards, each sound a potential threat. The slamming of doors in the night, echoing through the empty halls, the way my parents' faces seemed to harden, their smiles replaced with a guarded expression that spoke volumes. We never talked about it, never gave voice to the fear that coiled in the pit of our stomachs, but we all felt it. The unspoken dread, a suffocating blanket woven from silence and denial. The unseen presence, a shadow that moved at the edges of our perception. The fear that lived in my home, a malevolent entity that permeated every aspect of our lives. We were all trapped in a story that we didn't understand, a narrative written in fear and etched in silence. And the worst part? We couldn't escape. The evil was insidious, a slow-acting poison, twisting and contorting our lives until we barely recognized ourselves, turning us into shadows of our former selves. Every day was a struggle, a battle against an unseen enemy, a relentless fight for sanity. We learned to walk on eggshells, to avoid certain rooms, certain conversations, to pretend everything was fine, to maintain the facade of normalcy. But it never was fine. The illusion of normalcy was a fragile shield against an overwhelming darkness. And it never would be. The evil was always there, lurking in the shadows, feeding on our fear, growing stronger with each passing day, waiting, watching, and we were its prisoners, bound by a terror we couldn't comprehend. I remember the nights I couldn't sleep, the fear so intense it felt like a physical weight, pressing down on me, suffocating me, stealing my breath. The shadows danced in my peripheral vision, twisting and morphing into grotesque shapes, and every noise, every rustle, every creak was a threat, a potential harbinger of something dreadful. My home, once a place of comfort, of laughter, of family, had become a prison of terror. A place where nightmares were real and the darkness never truly lifted. The world outside didn't understand. They saw a normal family, living a normal life. A perfect picture of suburban happiness. But we knew the truth, we lived with it every moment. We were living a nightmare, a waking hell, and the evil in our home was the monster under the bed. The ghost in the closet, the darkness that consumed us. It was a slow poison, a corrosive force, corrupting everything it touched. Poisoning our relationships, our hopes, our dreams. It changed my parents, twisting their personalities into something unrecognizable, changed me, making me fearful and withdrawn. It made us strangers in our own home, isolated by fear and silence. The fear never really goes away, you know? It stays with you, a part of you, a permanent scar on the soul. Even now, years later, I still feel it sometimes. The chill, the silence, the shadows. The memory of the evil that lived in my home. A constant reminder of the darkness that can take root in the most unexpected places.